And good morning, everyone. It's time to go live from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. I'm Ramon Scott. Welcome to the morning steam for Tuesday, October the 30th. We're just a day away from Halloween. And, well, tonight could be a trick or a treat for the Las Vegas Raiders as they go in to take on the Detroit Lions Monday Night Football. But the featured attraction is again the World Series. And last night, in the World Series, Saturday night, we get ready to resume the series 1-1, and Game 3 tonight in are in a I, I, I say it as if I know what's going on. Of course, we know the game's in Arizona tonight. Brandon Pfaadt going up against Max Scherzer. We'll talk about that as our lead attraction tonight. Like I was saying yesterday, I was bummed no the World Series wasn't on Sunday. That was to me was a kind of a I think they did go away from it over the last year or two, but it always seemed like that was what we did. Sunday night was the World Series, along with the baseball game. But no, we'll be back there tonight, going up against Monday Night Football with the Raiders and the Lions. Huge cards today in NBA and NHL. I'm going to open up my college card tomorrow with a light card with the other sports. Even though there's World Series, there's just a couple games I think on the ice and a handful, not even in basketball. So probably tomorrow I'll cover like 15 college football games. We'll get the coverage started. We got like 22, 25. I don't know. We got a lot of games here with just the other sports. So we'll get into this week's college football card tomorrow, including early week Maction. It's time for the Maction. The Maction's here. So we know we've already had early week college football for a couple of weeks, but we're somewhere in that 50 days of football straight. I don't know how it works, but sports equinox and all that, at least for another few games, we know. And what do you guys think of the World Series tonight and how to go for everyone yesterday? Let's say hello to our friends here that are coming in to the room, and we'll see if I can do a better job of just balancing out the graphics here. Appreciate you guys. All right. Who was here today to get us started? It was Perky was here first. Thank you, Perky. Um, just coming in here, right? Not trying to tell anybody what to do. Just want to cover the sports betting landscape, and that's how we do it. We look at the games, talk about the games, keep up to date. Keep up to date, and that makes us better cappers. Ferner here today. Thank you. What's good? Good Sunday. Good sweep them. We did. You know what? Thanks for mentioning that. With all the NFL, what did we do? We had the Avalanche and Sabres under. We had the Capitals puck. How did we get there? I looked up and we won. We had the Devils. We had the Oilers. Did everybody enjoy seeing the outdoor game yesterday? And um, Edmonton, dominating the game, it seemed like pretty much. Great advice here from Ferner. And good morning. And Nicholas Handy and Blake and Panker stopping by today. And Thomas Lewis and Gerardo. And he brought us that tragic news yesterday. And uh, it was tough to watch that injury to the former NHL star in the England League, and some of the backlash, was the uh, other player trying maybe look. You're not aiming for a guy's throat, but we know that a move in hockey is sometimes a check or a leg check that can get a guy in a knee or a shin to slow a man's progress. I don't know if we had to talk. I saw the incident, and there's been a little bit backlash to the player that caused the uh, fatal injury in a hockey game in uh, England's top league. Let's not. There were, I think there were 7,000 people at the game. It was a big game, a league game over there that was equivalent of, a pro hockey game, and the player, got his throat cut with the blade and started bleeding. It's amazing, right? That how much blood comes out. We don't have to talk about this, you guys. All right, let me peasies here today. Not your fault, Gerardo. Um, but I was catching up on that incident. I saw it last night and then was seeing some of the news today here. And right, Ferner, it's weird, right? Because in hockey, it is so strange how you can be, in a funk at home to a certain extent sometimes, and travel's interesting too in NHL. So we'll go over to Tony'sPicks.com here, get the show started. If you guys have any more comments, we do want to cover maybe some of the football action for you before we look at who did what yesterday. What did you guys think of the NFL? Should we talk about that next? I don't know if the maybe we talk about NBA when we get to today's card about what happened yesterday early on the season, so not much going on. So, hey, late last night, if you missed it or it got too late, maybe you knew it was going to be a blowout yesterday with the Sunday night football game with the Chargers and the Bears. The Chargers get the win, 30-13. They really overwhelmed the Bears. I was trying to give the Bears here a chance on the air, trying to go against my Chargers because they're not a very clutch team when it comes to covering the spread. But it was just an overwhelming matchup for the Chargers against the undermanned Bears with my man Bag Boy quarterbacking 232 yards for him. But Justin Herbert completed 15 passes in a row. That's not on the rookie quarterback. That's on that supposedly okay Bears defense. He had 300 yards, Eckler, 119 all purpose yards, and how about Quentin Johnston looking like an interesting prospect for the Chargers at receiver with the skill set not seen in too many wide receivers anyway, with his combination of size, slinkiness. I don't know what it looks like here. Chargers 2 interceptions as well, get the win last night. My Chargers get the win last night and maybe put a little bit to rest that they are not a playoff contending team. I guess they're back in it. They're 3-4. Look, a lot of teams are in the mix around 500 certainly. Yesterday, Scorigami yesterday. Saw them talking about it on the red zone, and there was a Scorigami. And man, a score to me that I don't know. It sounds like I'm surprised that 43-20 had never happened before. Those sound like popular scores in a way, uh, to a certain extent. So 43-20 had never happened before, but it was the Rams over the Cowboys. Dak 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. C.D. Lamb. Uh, I'm not playing fantasy, but I'm trying. I'm entering some contests with a friend over on another channel, and I said to him, I said, "Hey, CD is my one of my favorites." He said, "Send me, your favorite guys this week." CD was on my list of just a handful of players this week to have big games, and he had the biggest game of his career with 12 receptions for 158 yards. For Stafford, 162 yards left with a thumb injury. We'll see about that. Cowboys nearly 400 yards in the blowout here of the Rams Cowboys route yesterday. And the bummer news, let's just get to it's probably the headline of the day, right? Bummer. Kirk Cousins lost for the season, likely with that Achilles. We're just waiting on the news, the bad news today. Vikings defense came through big. I tried to go with the Packers yesterday as a premium. Should have known better than that. This team is not making the stride that I thought they would. I thought at home in a division game, but Kirk Cousins. So we'll see what the Vikings do. They have options. Uh, moving forward. Kirk Cousins, look, we give Kirk a hard time sometimes when he loses or looks bad, but you'd take him over most of the guys in the league, probably over probably two-thirds of the guys in the league, right? You'd take Kirk Cousins, and for Minnesota, a team that was the luckiest team in the NFL last year, the breaks seemed to be going against them, but they were good enough to win that game. The Falcons over the Titans. Hey, I got this one right on the premiums, and I said in my write-up, if you are a subscriber, any of my subscribers in the chat here, what did I talk about? I talked about Will Levis, and I talked about how I thought he would be maybe the pro prospect that we thought he might be at Kentucky, right? Coming up. Maybe he kind of lost some of his momentum coming to the NFL. I said in my write up, watch for Will Levis here in this one. And look, we're not going to replace Tannehill just yet, but um, I would think that Will Levis is a guy that you're going to try to look to long down the road here a little bit. Work it out. You never know. It might not be working out long term, but Will Levis is not a stopgap at this point. He is the backup. Uh, to Tannehill, but you got to feel confident with him. I talked about the rookie class all season long. You got to put Will Levis in here, I would think, just because he's not getting in there at this point. That looked good. 4 touchdowns. That's only happened 3 times in the history of the game that rookie has thrown for 4 touchdowns in his first appearance. The other two, they were pretty okay quarterbacks, I'd say. Well, Marcus Mariota, say what you will, he never, really amounted to a great quarterback, but he had an NFL career. He's still hanging on somewhere. But and the other one, Fran Tarkenton. Famously threw 4 touchdowns in his first start. Can't do it without DeAndre Hopkins, 3 touchdowns. Ritter had a concussion, so we shall see there. He was replaced, and we'll see about that one. Colts crush the Saints 38, or Saints crush the Colts 38-17. Saints over 500 yards of offense. Colts running game getting back together, but that was disturbing that they lost that one. Miami crushes the Patriots in the end, gets some money to a 324 and 2 touchdowns. Hill, Waddle, this offense, Tua, long passing, beautiful, right in there every time, man. 31, 42 yards. Patriots are 2-6. Jets and the Giants, the worst game you never wanted to watch. What are they talking about? The worst game you want to watch? It was bad. Jets win in overtime, 13-10. Tyrod Taylor, a rib injury, goes to the hospital. So have to see where Tyrod sits. Barkley, 128 yards. And what else? Steelers. I'm looking down these games. Steelers over the Jags here, 20-10. Pickett. He left the game, man. These quarterbacks, Jaguars, red hot, moving up the charts quickly. 5 straight wins. Eagles over Washington. I tried to go under in a division game here. Should have known better because, touting Washington a little bit. Yeah, did it land on the numbers? Sure. Did Washington look pretty okay against 7-1 Eagles? They looked okay again. Washington continues to fight. Hurts, though, 4 touchdowns. The receivers were great. Sam Howell, I don't know. The Eagles are supposed to be a world, Super Bowl. They are a Super Bowl contender. We know it. They're right there at the top. Sam Howell had 400 yards passing and 4 touchdowns against the Eagles. Carolina wins. We said go under in our premium picks in that one. Come on, 2 rookie quarterbacks, and somehow they're hanging some 40 in there. I don't know. Well, what was going on with that? I mean, look, had a winning day yesterday. We want to crush the card, yeah, but some of these, shake your head a little bit with these bookmaker. Maybe the public thought Houston, Carolina. Oh, obviously going to go over with these 2 rookie quarterbacks. Bryce Young, 235 and a touchdown. Looked fine. He'll be great. Pinero, 3 field goals. All of a sudden, at least he's a kicker that can make some of these kicks. Seattle over the Browns. Gino, the touchdown pass with 38 seconds left in that one. Chiefs lose to Denver. We gave out Denver here on the show. We had some winners, certainly, on the show. We gave out Denver, even with the 16 straight losses. I mean, we took the points, certainly, yesterday, but hey, we had winners on the show. Saints, Colts, over. We had the Panthers yesterday on the show. We had the Cowboys to rock the Rams here on the show, and other winners as well, including the Broncos here. But Denver gets it done. Broncos recover 5 turnovers by the Chiefs, and despite 6 sacks, are able to get the win. Mahomes had the flu, and no doubt. I mean, 241 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, fumble. Obviously, if they say he had the flu, he had the flu. I mean, says, oh, family got it. I don't know what happened. They probably called, uh, you know, uh, Swift Taylor and said, don't come. Everybody's sick. You're going to catch cold. Don't come here to Denver or whatever. Hey, Ravens over Arizona, 31-24. Lamar Jackson, don't worry. I mean, these are tough games, man. The Ravens were able to get the win on the road against a rising point spread. Give the Cardinals credit. They fight back. They probably get the back door there, most of the numbers, I would think. But Bengals, they're back, I guess. They look good over the Niners. The real Joe Cool in front of Joe Cool. 283 yards and 3 touchdowns. Burrow looks good. Montana looking on at the game. Hey, I said the teams have already met in 2 Super Bowls. You know, no team, right? No game. The Cowboys and the Steelers, did they meet 3 times? Anyways, the Bengals and 49ers, they're Super Bowl contenders. The Bengals are in there. They're in the mix. I mean, they got a little bit of a road to climb, but uh, they've proven that they're a slow starting team. So Burrow, big upset road win, but on paper, it's an upset. Uh, Looking back on it now, Bengals are on the way up. Niners are still fine, but Purdy, you got a little concern. 2 interceptions and a fumble, but still 420 yards of total offense for Purdy, 365 passing and 57 rushing. So come from behind. They didn't win it. They were down and they lost by 14, but I mean, Purdy's fine. Purdy's fine. And stop the questions, whatever. He's the quarterback, and it's just going to be what it is. So don't forget, the receivers looked pretty good. Kittle, Ayuk, the weapons are, in and out, whatever. Also, McCaffrey with his record. So, and tonight we'll talk about it in just a little bit. All right. And all right, let's go to Tony'sPicks.com. I just want to love talking NFL with you guys. What did you guys say about that monologue here? And I'll catch up with you guys right now. Panger, good job. C. James here. Cowboys for next week. Hello to Solo. Austin Eckler. Underrated, overrated. What I mean, right? There's a whole bunch of juries out there, but the Chargers are better when he's in there, and he produces, right? Cinegaretti. I was trying to think of something the other day. Was thinking about you. Here's Will surprising. Okay, yep. Broncos. Good job, Matt, for the Broncos. We talked about it 16 in a row, and hey, I went on them here. Look, the purge has worked for now, and we'll see. Hopefully, it does work out for the Broncos. I'm a Chargers fan. I want the Broncos to fail, but I'll know when to give them props. And we gave them props for that game. We gave them props for that game going in. We thought they might give these Chiefs a problem. All right. And doubles, hello. I feel bad for you guys on the Bears. And Blake says it is a problem. Well, yeah, but again, I think they've hit something here, right, with Levis. So, all right, you guys, let me go over to Tony'sPicks.com. I appreciate all your comments here, and um, we've got to talk about the games today. We got a lot of them. So let me just keep on rolling here. Jay Smooth here today. Nice to see you. Thank you, Cinegretti. And hopefully we get those going. And NBA, some winners on the show yesterday included Atlanta here. And we did have the Kings as a premium play, as our only premium in the NBA last night. And lost our premium in hockey. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com and see who did what yesterday and get this show going. Good morning to everyone. Ooh, I'm seeing some exciting moves here from today. Getting ready. All right. Oh, is that right, Jay? Thank you. All right. I'm not sure right now. Let me see if I can hear it. Does it sound electronic? I don't know what to do at this point, other than maybe listening here. I don't want to. I don't want to create a bad show. And let me see. Oh, thank you, Jay. Okay. Hopefully it's on your end. Okay. Thanks, you guys. All right. Sometimes that'd be probably a better thing. So Blake says the Titans should wear those. Yeah, I loved. Hey, the Oilers did have an old right. That was in a way, yeah, the old uniforms to a certain extent in the AFL days. They had the all blue helmet as well, and I remember because I'm a freaky kid, the kid that would draw like helmets and make standings things, and I like these standings more, because I would love that was a kid, right, loving sports. And when I always drew the Oilers helmet, I didn't like the white helmet like in the 70s when I was a kid and making, art projects or whatever for school and doing if I was doing I always did it in the old blue AFL helmet. So all right. And I did love the Oiler uniforms. Electric football, Thomas, you bet I had electric football. Not only did I have electric football, but I would order extra men and I painted teams with little tiny art and tried to have every team home and away. I could only afford 11 players per, because I tried to make sure I had every team. And um, not only that, Thomas, and here's the thing that people might not understand about what you're talking about with electric football. I'm not talking about the handheld game with the digital thing like that, or um, I'm talking. You and I know what we're talking about. The game where you had the little men and you'd put them on the board and you turn on the power and the metal thing would vibrate and the men would move along and you'd pass the ball. And what I would do, passing was the toughest thing, right? And who really it seemed like you could never finish a game, right? Because you had to hit the guy. No, what I did was you took the passing, okay, get rid of the little quarterback, right? You can't really flick that thing and get the ball to hit a guy. And how do you can see it, right? So what I would do is you get behind the quarterback, you put the little foam ball in, and you try to flick the ball to your receiver. And if you could get, and I had a see-through shot glass, and if you could get the round little shot glass, it was a little bit bigger, right? Around the shot glass, if you could get the foam ball without touching the ball or the nearest defender, that was a completion. So you could put your defender guy, because you always want to put a bump and run on that. And if the defender stayed with the guy, or if the base was touching when you stopped the machine, if the bases were touched, you could not throw the ball to that receiver. He is too covered because you can't get the shot glass. Okay, just like What are we talking about? Does any Let's get on with the show. They're gonna fire me at this point. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com. The basic play up the middle, right? You run the 5-3-3, Thomas. You put the five men. You put it's like it was almost like the brotherly shove of electric football. And Thomas, did you ever do this? In the winter, you take your baby powder and you sprinkle it all over the field, and you got a game in the snow. Okay, here we go. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com and take a look at who's hot for Sunday's action, who did well on the handicapper leaderboards. It has been Ruhala, the left-handed guitarist out of Michigan, with a huge day. He was all into the props. He didn't go crazy. He didn't, play every game side and total. Well, he played some, but he had a lot of props in the NFL. 24-17 would totally get it done. Hopefully, you capitalize. If you're with Ben, you're going to totally get your money's worth with Ben's package right now. That's incredible. Yesterday, 43 plays on the card. He's got you loaded and he got you home with a winning day. Mindy Hahn, 67%. Great day for Mindy, up 3 units. Tim Irwin won all three of his plays. Probably Samba Murti. Uh, nice day as well, 5-2. There I am with an 8-5 day yesterday. 4-3 on the early NFL, 2-1 on the late NFL, 1-0 on the Sunday night NFL, and a couple other games. Hollywood Sam, 67%. Chauncey Giles here as well. Some basketball steam rolling in here this morning. I'll keep you abreast of that as we get going with the show. Ralph Raymond also 3-2. Eli Richards, Daniel Wolosichuk all showing profit yesterday at Tony's Picks. And yeah, I got through the weekend with a winning weekend, but tried to erase that one bad day. I think we almost got there, so we're ready to roll here, get it back on. Chauncey Giles for the last 7 days. He's been on fire with 23-6 record for Chauncey. Oh, that's just outstanding. No doubt about it. Boy, really good. 16 1/4 units over the last 7 days. Great job, Chauncey. Welcome to the team. Eli Richards, 13-4. Also crushing record. There's probably heavy volume over the last 7 days. Tony T, 67% for 637 units. Ben Ruhala, also strong here, profiting over the last week. Over the last month, Tony'sPicks.com, well, it's Hollywood Sam. He's up 33 1/3 units here over the last 30 days. Ben Ruhala up 18.5 units. Chauncey Giles up 18 units. Joseph Schultz 13.41, and Daniel Wolosichuk up 7.5 units at the site. Check us out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save you 20% on all premium pick packages. I'm about to give you some free winners up and down the network today from me, the other handicappers as well. But if you're, struggling and just need a little extra to your bankroll and want to make sure we get the best plays in your pocket, check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com and use that promo code TonyT at checkout for absolutely the best plays from our crew, including 3-packs, 5-packs, 7-packs. Ben Ruhala, he's got 3 plays tonight with his props. Nick Bartini's got a 5-pack. It looks like he's going multi-sport here. Collins Brown as well. Also, check out Best Bets from the crew on Monday. Tony T, Ben Ruhala, Marlo Pettis, Nick Bartini. The GM's got a couple. Nick Lagaretos has a couple, as well as Collins Brown. And also $15 plays, introductory and discounted plays from Daniel Wolosichuk. All right. Thanks for listening to that. Check it out over at Tony'sPicks.com. All right. And a few more comments, but let's see. Blake had a hello to Darren. Hello to Blake. He had electric football. And Nice. And what do we got here? Berner says, "Mini soccer. I will see. Um, you know, I've had some soccer plays this last week. I struggled on one Champions League card, so I backed off, and then I went and brought some home, and we had a winning. Ended up going in the Discord with the plays and brought home some winners. So we'll see here. Gary, what is he saying? Hello to Gary. 16 parlay. What a good. He has a 16 parlay. Needs the Boston Bruins and the Texas Rangers. What should he do? His partner likes the Diamondbacks. I would say if you guys are partnering up as betting partners and you disagree on that game, then just to get off of it, you don't want to have any bad feelings there. I'll make a pick in necessarily a few minutes, but don't go with your betting partnership certainly. And I miss my betting partnership, but that's another story. And here's Fernando. Yeah, well, no, Fernando, I think fair, right? I think that's one of the things about the statistics would say from a standpoint where I'm learning here, right? Well, you got a great capper. I mean, a former Premier League player, doing that one. So, but I don't know. You have one across the street. There's a guy doing show. There's a gentleman that I think we all know that does a good job across the street here at the sister network there. So don't forget about him. He's putting up videos anyway. So I'll mention that. Don't forget our other programming here before we get rolling here. Gosh, guys, half an hour in, I got to start. Um, we got midday plays, Mindy Hahn and Tiffany Mance at 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, and it is Tony T and the Pick Dogs crew, the drive through gang at 6 Eastern and 3 Pacific. And Tony debuted a new show. I don't know the plans for this one, but there was a new show on Friday, 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. An advertising partnership with a new app here. Tony will keep us abreast on that, but we'll see if just got to get some more information. Tony will bring it to us. He's working with another company here on some analytics, and so check that out. Okay, let's go. It's World Series time on Monday night. And we're lead off with this because it's going to be the Diamondbacks and the Rangers game number 3 tonight from Arizona with Max Scherzer going up against Brandon Pfaadt here. And, well, Max came off the DL. He made his first start. He wasn't very good. He came back and made his next start. He was a little better, but it hasn't been too good of late for Max, and they're going to need him. The Rangers have obviously won every road game. That's been the big story. Now, I did say that Arizona had won on the last show. I may have quoted the win order incorrectly for Arizona. I noticed when I went back and I may have just misspoke, but someone called me out on it, and I just had it wrong. But no doubt, Arizona, the road teams have done pretty well. Nonetheless, here Arizona's able to get a win also on the road, obviously, and steal this home field advantage in the World Series. And you got Brandon Pfaadt, who I think I've, in a way, kind of stuck with him to a certain extent this season, just going over every game when he's been, we've made fun of him or whatever. But obviously, it's all starting to work out right now for Brandon Pfaadt. What they thought they had in Arizona with this pitcher is kind of what they are getting right now, right? You didn't necessarily, know you're going to be in the World Series and need this kid to come through, but he is right now, and he's looking like one of the best pitchers on either staff at this point. And what a great story for him, right? Especially to be in this particular game against Max Scherzer. And, well, you're in a pickup, all right? Just look at that right there in itself, right? Max Scherzer in a game against a rookie pitcher in the World Series, and it's a pick 'em. And you know what? It's not even necessarily a pick 'em anymore. I mean, I'm showing it some books right now. Well, I think DraftKings is still holding out. There's a lot of pick'ems out there. There's a couple of books that have Arizona just slightly. So I guess we could still call it a pick'em. I think I'm right. I think I'm right there as far as where the line is settled. Maybe that's what you guys think as well. And Fernando, you and I can do a soccer show. I think is what we should do. You and me and Gerardo. I think we would have the best soccer show if it was you and me. Oh, I don't know if you and Gerardo get along. Because I look at you guys as the two preeminent uh, chat room soccer promoters. So I want to do a show. Fernando, Gerardo, and Ramon soccer show. It'd be the best one. All right. Hit me up in the DMs. Tell Gerardo as well. Okay, here we go. Continue on with this. Thomas is on. Texas here. Thank you, Blake. Yep, I've seen it. I signed up and everything. It's a really good. It looks really good, and I need something. I think like that. It might. I mean, right now, I. It might be over my head. I'm an oldie, but I'll figure it out. Jay here says he wants Arizona today. Ray's on the Rangers. Panger Life is on the Rangers. I think that's the one thing the Rangers have going for them is that mojo feel of the road games, right? Because they've been so good. They have Max here, who did bounce back with a better effort in his second start off the disabled list, off of the disastrous first start. So for Max, he has a 10.5 ERA in his last four starts. He's gone over in four straight. He has dominated the Diamondbacks in his career. 9-0 record with a 2.65 earned run average for Max. Should I repeat that? The 9-0 for Max in his career against the Arizona Diamondbacks with a 2.65 ERA. Now, Max has been around, a lot of that goes back to some bad teams. It's not like Max has just been in the league for a couple of years, right? Um, I mean, I guess I could look up the BVP a little bit here and see what we've got between these two before we make the pick and move on. Or I'm seeing your picks in here. So for Arizona, you got 11 hits and 77 plate appearances. So that would indicate the Max's success here, certainly. Uh, you have Tommy Pham, just 3 hits in 24 plate appearances. Marte, 1 hit in 9 plate appearances. Gurriel, 1 hit in 8 plate appearances. Longoria, 3 hits in 25 plate appearances. A couple of home runs there. Corbin has a home run in just 3 plate appearances for the Diamondbacks. For Arizona pitcher Brandon Pfaadt against the Texas lineup. Not many. 7 hits in 16 plate appearances. A few guys have hit him a little bit. Josh Young, 2 hits in 3 at bats. Tavares, 2 hits in 2 at bats. One of them was a home run. Jonah Heim has a home run in just 2 appearances. So they've touched him up, but only a few guys have faced him. Adolis Garcia, 0 for 3 against Pfaadt. Semien, 1 for 3. Seager, Carter, Garver, no appearances against Brandon Pfaadt. All right, it's time for me to make my call here on the show. Make sure I get the right play because we know we could have a premium tonight in the World Series, of course. And I'm going to be, let me make sure I get everybody's play in here as well. I want to make sure we have all the, everybody from the chat in this one. Let's get it going here. Dre's on Arizona money line, and here it is. This game may go under, says Cinegaretti, and I think at a 9, I'm going to have to go under. This is a Major League Baseball game. This is the World Series. You have this graded out like a regular, I guess, I mean, going to have two good offenses of the World Series, right? But usually it's pitching that got you there. And you're going to need to get double digit runs tonight to get this game to go over. Yeah, does Max have some struggles of late? Yeah, but Arizona, we know that uh, they've been doing it kind of with great pitching and clutch hitting. They're not big bombers. They're playing the small ball a little bit. Hey, we've seen them bunt. We've seen them steal. We've seen everybody steal. How many extra bases did players get this year with their oven mitts? We already knew the bases are closer. Now, right? We talked about also see these guys with those oven mitts, man. You wonder if they, got those hands in there. Hey, Tones here. He wants the D-backs today in this one. I'm saving it for my premium, so I'm glad you guys got lots of opinions here a little bit going back and forth. Here's Solo going under. And Blake says, I got scared money on the Rangers. Thomas says it is a big 9 standing out like a sore thumb. So to me, I just feel like every World Series, I mean, am I wrong to say? I mean, okay, uh, Arizona to a certain extent has always been kind of one of the parks. It's kind of like you could almost say there was a certain time now it's come back down a little bit, but you almost went like the highest scoring ball, you went like Colorado, of course, and then Arizona, and then, you know, Boston, Chicago on the wind blowing out type of thing, Cincinnati, right? You think of those stadiums, and Arizona was like always number 2 for, most runs. And maybe you see a little bit of that here, maybe, but to me, the World Series, everything should be, I don't know, tailored to the low. Um, Here now, I know. Okay, I'm already Mister Under uh, a lot of the times, so I'm going to take the under as my play here on the show. Enjoy the World Series tonight. Carries on Texas. Thank you, you guys. It's only been 45 minutes and we've talked about one game so far. So let's get ready to talk about Monday Night Football tonight with my home team, the Raiders. I've become, now I've really got a, problem in my life, right? I'm a Chargers fan. I'm not supposed to like the Raiders, but I'm living in Vegas. I like sports, so I don't know. I find myself rooting for them in some situations here. I feel almost bad for them in a way. Uh, like I said, the Raiders should be fine here in Vegas, and with the beautiful stadium, one of the most beautiful stadiums in the world. I mean, I've ever seen. I can't, it really is something special. And uh, so even if they are not, you know, running the team as best they could because they're not very good at football managing. They'll be, they still got a great stadium. People will come to the stadium. They'll make some money. And so tonight, the Raiders will be on the road against, I don't know, one of the most popular teams in the league for bettors. And you hope, you hope one of these years the Lions will do it. Anyways, the Lions are favored tonight here by 7.5 over the Raiders. Jimmy Garoppolo returns for the Raiders tonight. And this line, uh, look, it might be a little bit high, but um, it was higher. That's for sure. I think when we saw that it might be, that Garoppolo might not be in there, uh, I think we saw this line get, what, as high as 8.5, maybe. Nine. I saw it as high as 9.5 at one point. So maybe those were numbers to take the Raiders at, certainly. But and here, even Hook does feel a little bit dangerous. Ferner says, "Who is the guy? I have it as Garoppolo tonight. I have Jimmy G back, ready, and available for this game." Ferner says, "I want to go under in this one tonight." And Centigrade said, maybe this number is right on." And Blake, Lions and under for Dre. And what else here? Well, that's just it, Tom. They have a great stadium here, and you know what else they have? They have money apparently here in Las Vegas. And here's Jay says, "Give me the Detroit Lions bounce back spot. Don't trust Las Vegas defense here in this one." And Fernando, "I kind of want to take that underdog, maybe here in this one." Well, and oh my gosh, hello! I want to welcome Boxing First Vlog BFV. And a great logo, the Tuesday night fights. Man, that's turning back the clock. So, hey, Boxing First Vlog, it's great to have you here. And said it's been a week of overs. That would have been bad news for me, right? But I thought there were, let's see, well, we did have the over yesterday on the show, that Saints Colts game. We had Jacksonville Pittsburgh under. We had Texans Panthers under as a premium. We did have Cowboys Rams over as a premium. There were some over. We had Chiefs Broncos under. We had Bears Chargers under. So, okay. Anyways, thank you for that. Nice to have you, Joey. Hello as well. All right. Well, I've taken a long time on the show. We could analyze it even a little further if you. Man, I really didn't even get. I left all my baseball notes here. Why do I get up so early if I don't use all the content? But then the show goes long. No, this is tough. How does Tony do it? Anyways, for the Raiders, they've only 123 yards rushing in their last two games. And if it isn't Jimmy G for some reason, I guess Brian Hoyer in there. We saw O'Connell. I think Hoyer's the guy you go with. Raiders have lost their last three road games by nearly an average of 20 points right now. They're just decent in the road underdog role, but 11-16 against the spread. Last 27 coming off of a loss. Right now, the AFC West, they are not that team. They are 6-13 against the spread against the other divisions. Lions coming off a beatdown. And they're 14-9 against the spread off of a loss. Lions, to me, they're 6-2 as a home favorite now with Campbell. Campbell still crushing it, 28-12 against the spread overall. And the Lions here, even laying these points, it'll be the free play. So let's go ahead and make sure we get this win. I'm going to probably take it down even a point or two here, try to get some good numbers that are under the key numbers. Even if I have to go to 5.5 at $2 to start, I'm going to be shifting the money right in that little window right there for the Lions as my play tonight to blow out the Raiders actually here tonight. Don't want it to be too ugly, but I don't think it's going to be, it might not be a good game, but at least we'll have the World Series and we'll see. Maybe the Raiders can come up with something here tonight, but I have concerns here with the with the Raiders moving forward, maybe in this season, I don't think they're a playoff contender. Look, they're 3-4. Lions are 5-2. Jimmy probable in this one, and for the Lions, St. Brown, he's questionable with an illness. Jonah Jackson, the offensive lineman, is out for Detroit. All right. Montgomery, of course, he's still out. Verner says he'll take the Lions as well. He'll also get at least under that 7 number and take it there. And yeah, I will too. 7.5 is bad, so probably not going to have too much percentage on it, but I'll take my bulk of my play and I'll go a little bit on. Maybe I'll leave a little bit on 7.5. At least it's not 8. Then I'll get on 7. I'll put a little bit more on 6.5. A little bit more on 6. I'll put more on 5.5. I'll put even more, and probably take the Lions here to roll over the Raiders tonight. I'm not a Raiders fan, but I might be. I don't know. I don't want to admit anything here on YouTube and have anybody, bring it, hold it against me. Enjoy the football game tonight. All right, we're going to cover NBA and NHL, and that'll be it. Like I said, we'll attack college football tomorrow with a light card in sports. That's just no other way to say it. There's, I believe, maybe 7 games total, or maybe 9 on the college with the college football. So we can, crank out 10 or 15 tomorrow. All right, start with the NBA here now. Put yesterday aside and start to look at some of these contests here with the Bulls and the Pace. Try to get the latest numbers here. These were as of about 6:30 a.m. Eastern, 3:30 a.m. Pacific. When I got up to prep for this show, to get ready for you guys. All right. Thomas, don't change because of me. Hello to Mike here today as well. Mike, thank you very much for coming, and appreciate the nearly 4 dozen in you here, and also those of you that have joined me on the videos or the replays. All right. Pacers -3. This total, oh boy, this total is going through the roof. This totals up to 230 here between the Bulls and the Pacers on Monday. This isn't some Eastern Conference game from the old days with these two here, and I don't know. It looks like it's going to go over to me as well. Man, this thing really paying the price here, but I'm not sure I can go under, and I don't know. I might like the side, so I might just want to give out the total over here right now because that's the way I think it's going to go. And now I've got to go over 230. Oh my goodness. Well, I'll just give that as my play here on the show. I'll go over with the Bulls and the Pacers. These two teams have already been going over a little bit so far this season in just a few games now. Look, the steam's been coming rolling in on the over this morning. I'm not saying that um, these guys are always right, but in this matchup where so far the Pacers coming in 2-0, by the way, break them up here, but this has been a series that has been a pretty strong under series of late. 20 of the last 28 meetings have gone under, and this is a series. They meet several times a year. However, the Pacers are 9-2 to the over in their last 11 games, dating back to last season. The Pacers, so far, they went over at Cleveland. They beat them 125 to 113. And, of course, they hammered Washington 143 to 120. So Pacers have been putting up. Remember, they didn't make the playoffs last year, but they were putting up a lot of high scores at the end of last season. Now I know we were dealing with some pretty ridiculous numbers there, but the Pacers, maybe this is the way they play the game at this point. For Chicago, they did go over in their last game. That was a loss to Detroit on the road. Total was 213. It went to 220. Now, before that, they had an overtime game against Toronto that was under, but they went over against Oklahoma State in a 20-point loss. So they've gone over in 2 of 3 games so far this season. Here comes some of the uh, plays from you guys. Man, you guys are going to be hot in the NBA this year, so this is going to be fun. It looks like we have a lot of opinions, a lot of fans. It's going to be easy for me. Hello to Ron here today as well. Check out Ron here on Tony's Picks. Always coming in. He joined us as a capper, and his premium plays are up on our site. His premium plays are available on our site. So thank you, Ron, for being part of the team. Double says Pacers scoring late, but the Bulls not so much. And what I said, I don't know, Doubles, if you were here, everybody wanted to talk about the team meeting. I said, good. They said, oh, if you have a team meeting after the first game, you might have a problem. Well, yeah, it did look a little bit pouty to a certain extent of what went on, but if I'm going to have a team meeting, I'd rather have it after game number 1 than game number 80. Let's get on the same page. Then what happened? They bounced back, and I had the Bulls in that next day. So team total over here for doubles. Fernando says, give me the Bulls to bounce back. No comment on that soccer show, huh, Fernando? All right. I don't know. Maybe Mike says this one's right on today. Solo's on the Pacers, and I am on the over here in this one. And I'll probably be looking in a little bit here at the Bulls, we'll see what happens. But give me the over here at 230. Wow, 230 in this one. I don't think I could go premium now. I was liking the over quite a bit at that 226. And, I'm just doing the show, and I look up, there's some steam on the over, and, well, hey, it is what it is. Good job by the Sharps, and maybe we can tag along here a little bit and take the over. The Brooklyn Nets are going to try to get their first win of the season when they take on the Charlotte Hornets tonight. The Hornets with a win so far this season. And for Brooklyn, they are coming off a loss to Dallas. They did cover the spread in that one. They lost 125 to 100, getting 6 points in a game that went well over the 230 points in that one. The reported steam did come in on the under in this game, but right now I'm showing it right now at Brooklyn -1, and the total here down to just 228. But let's at least put the odds here on Brooklyn as a 1-point favorite now. I don't know if there's too much to this one as far as the line movement's concerned, but you want to indicate that Brooklyn has moved to a 1-point favorite. The Hornets, of course, last time out, they lost at home to Detroit, 111 to 99. So they did get the money in a win and cover in their first game against Atlanta. Comments from you guys now, and here's Ray says, give me the Hornets in this one. And some I'm showing it maybe even 1.5 right now at some spots as the Nets line kind of continues to go up a little bit. Here's Solo on the Nets, and Jay says, "Give me the Nets as well." And I, have some concerns about the Nets moving forward. Mike says Hornets look good. All right. All right, let's see here. Any more? Get it, Hornets. Oh, yeah, you can. It's kind of, yeah, net. They both have the word Nets in the name, I think. I don't know if that's what he meant, but that's what I better just stick with here on the uh, uh, Tony's Picks YouTube channel because we don't get off on. I was on some shows this weekend, and some of those fun shows, those live shows where the humor gets a little salty, or I don't know how else to describe it. But it's fun. So I'm gonna end up here on. I'm gonna take the Hornets, you guys, here in this one. Let's see. Jay's on. You guys might talk me off of it. I don't. I'm worried now. You guys might talk me off this game a little bit. It feels like. All right. Give me the Hornets here. I was probably going to go premium on it, but I see so many of you guys on the Nets here. I guess I'll just, I respect you guys so much that I'm gonna cancel my premium on the Hornets and I'm just gonna go with it on the show. So you see how I operate a little bit. I respect you guys so much. I'm not gonna get off my pick. I'm not gonna switch. I'm not gonna, because I was going premium. I think on the Hornets. You guys really like the Nets. Okay, I shouldn't let anybody and stick with your guns, but you guys do seem to like the Nets here. Um, I was thinking Hornets here, but I'm going to respect you guys. And tomorrow, say, hey, we told you, Ramon. We told you. And I'll say, yep, you guys said it. But, I got uh, Bridges here. I don't know if he'll be able to have have his typical game. Um, I certainly think Thomas can have a pretty good game. I think Rozier could have a good game for the Hornets. You guys. All right. I need to shake my head violently to kind of get the. I don't want to do it on the air though. Hold on a second. Oh, all right. That feel. Whew. Celtics and the Wizards in this one. The Celtics, a double-digit favorite here on the road against the Wizards, and why not? I mean, the Celtics. Um, yeah, can they get some double digits here early on? Um, we have seen some big time blowouts already, but it really looks like it's been of those really bad teams. Um, Houston, San Antonio, and where do you put Washington necessarily in the mix with these teams right now? Here with Celtics on the road. I think you guys are already coming in with some of your comments here in this one. No, not yet. Oh, here's Solo going to be on the Wizards here. So for me, with the obviously the big price that you have to lay here has me scared necessarily. Yeah, we've seen some big time, uh, you know, blowouts so far. Yeah, Boston at 2-0. so far. Washington does have a win. Here is Dre wants to take 10 points. Ferner says, I'm not laying 10 points with the Celtics right now. Look, like I said, Celtics are 2 and 0. What's their spread record? 0 and 2 or 0 and 1. Some people, did anybody get the money? They're probably 0 and 1, I think, for the most part, but it was close enough, right? Here's Ray says he wants to go over in the game here tonight. For Boston, they're off the win at home against the Heat. Like I said, I think they were favored by 9, and then the game against the Knicks. What did you guys have that one at? 4? If it was 4, it was 3.5. It was 4.5. So let's see. Making sure, checking the break, you see if there's real break. Hey, the undergrads here today. Awesome to have you, undergrads, ready to roll for the college basketball season. It's going to be great. Can't wait. We're already seeing. We saw an upset. We saw the big upset last night, undergrads. What happened, Ricky Pitino? And what is going on here? Who Hope College won over Ricky. So, all right, Mike's going to add a couple of points here. Make sure he gets the win in this one. So, all right, I guess I better pull the trigger, and I want to take Washington plus the points. I mean, come on, I'm not passing up on double digits in a division game. I don't care right now, and we'll just see. But give me the points with the Wizards. Come on. Do the Wizards have issues like Houston and San Antonio? It might not be as quite as awful, right? I mean, you still got. You figure Kuzma can have, I think Kuzma against, Brown against Brown, probably Kuzma can have a big night. Look, I don't think, I think some of these guys, uh, you know, on Washington can have a good night. Now, not having Gafford, if he's not in there, I know he's on the injured, on the report. So, like to see his status, but I don't want to take up too much of your time here on the show. Something I didn't necessarily research, but total here down to 229. All of a sudden, Gafford questionable with that ankle injury. We know Shemet is out. We know Davis probable. So that would work. Uh, Avja is not going to be able to do much, I would think, against Tatum, so he's a non-factor. But Kuzma, I would think Jones. Look, Tyus, say what you want about Drew, but takes a lot of time off there on the court defensively. So I think the Wizards have some offense here, and I think they also probably can. I think Kuzma can play with Brown defensively a little bit. Watch out for Washington here. I'm gonna sprinkle the money line. I don't care. I'm gonna take them. Oh, I don't like people who say I don't care. We care. Why do I do that? Hey, here's Jay says take the Wizards. Mike says anything Washington's lit. Like what, Mike? Like what is lit and what? The Commanders, the Capitals, the Nationals. Anyways, I'm teasing you, Mike. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, interesting, right? Okay. I'm gonna take it. I'm taking the Wizards. Let's go. Let's go, Wizards. Get 10 points. Trailblazers here and Raptors. This is NBA action for Monday. And you have the Raptors favored here by 8.5 now, and the total 217. So the Raptors line moving up here on Toronto with the Trailblazers, we saw, look, missing one of their, good young stars. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, Portland. Can we put Portland down there with Houston, San Antonio? Yeah, we probably can. Not only 0-3, but 0-3 to the number at this point. So Toronto 1-2, but they do have a couple of covers so far this season. But well, this line's starting to get away here a little bit from 7 up to 8.5 now here at home with the Raptors. So, but what I was saying was you got a young budding star Anthony Simons out of the Simons like Anthony Simons out of this game for uh, Portland. Pardon me. Uh, pretty good talent, certainly, and missing him. Let's see what you guys have. Hey, John Holland. Hello to John here today, and appreciate you very very much for giving me that locked in on the under. It's nice to have you. Maybe you've been here before. Looks like you know what you're doing, and appreciate that very much. Solo does not like Scoot Henderson. Um, I'd say Solo is in the, I don't know, minority. I don't want to say like that. I think that most people do think that Henderson is a a good prospect. Um, I think the jury's going to be out for a while on this one because of the team itself. It's going to be really tough, right? Jay wants to lay the points here with the Raptors. It's getting into some dangerous territory. It feels like for me all of a sudden here, Jay, with the points going up. That's the way I was kind of leaning here on the show, was to maybe lay the points, but I think instead, and I don't want to do. Look, we got a new. I don't. John, have you been here before? But I'm going to go with John. I already had the under as a possible target here for a premium, and while I don't know if I was ever going to get there, um, I d- I do like the under. I feel like the sharps are on the under so far, especially coming down now to 217, and I'm going to take it in this one. And just because I haven't done it for a couple of days. Oh, thank you, John. You have been here. Yeah. Sorry if I missed or forgot that you were one of our regulars from before, but maybe you've just been gone for basketball season and you're back right now. Furner sees it very, very low. So, hey, for John, I just want to do, I just want to, I love doing this, and I don't know if I'm a goofball or what, but let's win. And all right. Love doing that. All right. I'll take the under here with the Blazers and the Raptors. All right. Let's go next to the T Wolves. Going to take on the Hawks tonight. Basketball here on Monday. We've seen some widely reported steam already come in on the under, but they bought it back right away, and we're seeing a two-way action currently from the Sharps, and it looks like all over the industry here. Minnesota, a 2-point favorite, and the total here has dropped significantly to 231.5 on a 3-point move. But looks like the buyback is in too a little bit on the over here. I'm not necessarily, uh, you know, uh, ready to commit on this total, especially with a 4-point move. I'm going to have to wait and kind of let it shake out now. It feels like a little bit for me. let's maybe get into some of the stats and see what you guys have to say with the Timberwolves and the Hawks here tonight. This one opened. I haven't seen too much movement actually here at all. Minnesota comes in at 1-1. The Hawks are 1-2 so far, both straight up and against the spread. Minnesota coming off the 106-90 win at home against Miami. Both their games have gone under so far this season for Atlanta. They walloped Milwaukee. Remember the upset victory for the Hawks over the Bucks yesterday. So they're on the back to back here in this one, but they are back home at least in taking on the Timberwolves, who have played one road game and one home game. You guys have a lot of comments on this one. Let's get into it. And here is the Timberwolves here for Thomas. Dre is going to lean Minnesota in this one on the road. Thomas says he likes Atlanta's scoring. He likes Atlanta's scoring right now, is what that looks like he's saying here. Mike may be leaning the under, but Ray says, give me the Wolves and over. And Jay says, the Hawks +2. Hawks on the back to back, but getting points with Atlanta is what he wants to do today. All right. Appreciate that. We got a few more here. John says, going to lean the Timberwolves. They're going to look ahead here with the Nuggets. Ferner says, lean on the Timberwolves over the rest day. And Darren says, T-Wolves. Solo on the Wolves. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, that back-to-back spot would kind of, I would think, kind of have me worried to a certain extent. Uh, and also, but interestingly, this buyback has me perplexed because I was prepared kind of to tail this steam a little bit, but the buyback is pretty sharp. I don't want to talk over anybody's head here. I'm just looking at my own notes and the line movement. And I'm going to end up on the Hawks here at home, even on the back to back. Yeah, I'm getting a couple of points here in this one. So I'm gonna side with Atlanta at home against the Timberwolves, getting these points. When I look at I know what you guys are saying, but when I look at the matchup, I think, I Trey can have a big day. I think Hunter. I think Capella. I'm down on Murray in this matchup against Edwards. Edwards probably set for a pretty strong performance, probably a pretty big performance for Edwards here in this one, but also Towns a big day. Conley, I've got the down arrow on him. So, and also it looks like McDaniels. Let me see. He's got an injury designation. It looks like coming in. He is questionable. All right. I'd say McDaniels is the most significant of the injuries that impacts the game. The other two are minor and are two. You know, McDaniels to me is the one I'm concerned with. All right. I'm making the play on Atlanta. The Detroit Pistons on the road taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder here, and the Thunder are up to a 6-point favorite, and the total down to 225 here on Monday. Thunder getting some attention from bettors, up to 6, and this total now, like I said, at 225 here tonight. And with these Pistons on the road. All right, let's take a look at this one now. This one opened, Oklahoma City opened as low as a 5-point favorite here. So we're seeing a little bit of move on them. The total opened as high as 228. You have coming into this game, Detroit with a record of 2-1. They've been a pretty pleasant surprise so far. Uh, Thunder also 2-1, coming off a loss. Now we did try to get on them against the Nuggets, and that was a no go, no good, no bueno. In that one, the Nuggets ended up pounding the Thunder in Oklahoma City by 33 points in that game last night. So whatever was going on, yeah, was it a mismatch? Sure. Detroit, they often do very well in this series. Now it is an East-West, so they only meet, a couple of times, a year um, in this series. And I don't know, for me, coming off that big, big loss again, playing Detroit, uh, I do sometimes want to respect a season series numbers like this. I don't worry sometimes about even if it's a twice a year thing. Like I said, people say, "Oh, they only meet twice a year." To me, it has to do with how that team or program travels into a city and arena, the comfortability of the whether it's a practice facility or schedule or game times or whatever. To me, has a lot to do with certain things, but I think after a huge loss like that, I would think the Thunder probably come back and can get this money. Trey's going to take OKC. Thomas is going to take Detroit. Ray says take the Thunder to bounce back. And Jay says the Detroit Pistons. He loves betting on Oklahoma City, but the back to back and now is a chalky favorite. And Detroit's done a good job. He sees a close one. Yeah, I agree with every thing about those statements. When I think of a team that just suffered a 30-point loss to a world champion, um, I'm 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 gonna go against my man Jay here. I'm gonna lay the points tonight with the Thunder and lay 6. And I'm pro Pistons. I think I've made that clear here. I obviously, hey, look, we think Cunningham, obviously strong, good player. We want to see him be a successful talent moving forward. Um, I think Jalen Duran is in a great matchup here, and I actually worry a little bit about the man. It's more of the spot for me is Thunder because of the 30-point loss yesterday. Like I said, I mean, if feel like it was nondescript, if the Thunder had won the game, and again, I had the Thunder, or I think we had them on the show, but SGA, it's a tough, I think it's a tough matchup for SGA. I think Killian Hayes is underrated defender. Holmgren, we'll see, but I'm still going to take the Thunder here off of that loss. Basically, I'm I'm going off of that loss. Ray says go over here. The widely reported steam has definitely come in on the under. This one opened as high as As I said, 228. Now we're dealing down to 225. So the move here has definitely been on the under, and I appreciate. Ray, I might actually. Well, I better just leave it alone. Let me not comment on the total if you know what I mean. The Dallas Mavericks are going to take on the Memphis Grizzlies. NBA action for Monday night with Dallas on the road, favored by 2.5. The total is up to 228.5 here with Dallas favored in this one over the Grizz. The reported steam did come in on the over in this game. It opened, well, um, as low as I'd say 227 ish. Now let's break down this matchup just a little bit and see where these teams stand currently. With, uh, I don't want to say going two teams going in opposite directions because we expect Memphis here to get a win soon. 0-3 right now. They did cover one of those matchups. This has been a totally under series in the past. In fact, 7 of the last 8 meetings between Dallas and Memphis, and this is a pretty frequent series, have gone under the total. Now, Dallas has gone over in both games so far. They beat Brooklyn, although they did not cover. 125 to 120 is a 6-point favorite. They won at San Antonio as a 4.5-point favorite, got the money in that one. As far as the Grizzlies are concerned, they lost at Washington as a 6-point as a pick 'em, I think it was, or maybe they're favored by one or whatever it was. It was a closely rated game, and they lost. They also lost to Denver in a game that they got the money. However, I will say it like that. So let's get your comments in here and your picks on this one. Grizzlies game to go over for Ray. Oh, he does like that. That steam there to go over. How about that? And let's see here. We've got Jay. He says Dallas minus 2.5. Memphis plays tough. They play gritty, but they don't have enough. No Morant, no Steven Adams, and does not Dallas as a road favorite, but he might trust them here. And we know that it's built into the line, or it's here's a um, so Jay, here's something else. This isn't pointed at Jay or anybody necessarily. But one thing that's always said, and I've been trying to debate this a little bit of late because I maybe have been guilty of it to a certain extent, right? There's Dre on Dallas and Mike on Dallas, Solo on Dallas, Ferner on Dallas, everybody on Dallas. But they say, oh, well, that's all baked in. Is it really baked into the line? Maybe we think of, my old adage. I have a, you know, thing that I call, are we sure, or do we think they're good? Kind of the thing to me. A team that is off to a surprising start, or have they been good in the past, right? And you're like, we don't know yet, and we don't know what a team is like without a player like a Morant. Sometimes, like I said, some of these players make you worse when they're in, not because they're terrible players, but the chemistry's bad, or they're overvalued that player, right? I mean, that's what I think about uh, when I see it. So I think I'm going against Ray here. I'm on the under in the game between Dallas and Memphis. I'm going to fade that steam here tonight. I'm trying to find a rhythm a little bit in the hoop, and I'm getting a little bit of value here at 228.5. Like I said, uh, I think for me, when you see a series history a little bit, and um, that series history kind of relates to teams that play more frequently, right? 7 of the last 8 have gone under, basically, you know, the last several meetings with this. Maybe not this raw. You're thinking of Morant being out, but and Adams. Okay, great. Okay, here's the Warriors at the Pelicans, and the Warriors going on the road here in this one. They're an underdog to the Pelicans. Pelicans are minus 4.5 now, and the total 227.5. Better update these lines, man. Wow, 4.5, 227.5. So 3.5 point move to the under here in this one, and a point and a half move to the Pelicans. Oh boy. All right. Might want to take a look at what's going on here in this one. The reported steam did come in, obviously, on Golden State and under. And I'm not just saying that. Now, I said that total, had moved uh, significantly from 230, whatever it was. It was 233 on the earliest of openers for the Golden State New Orleans game. So that's like a 6 point move to the under here in this one. And I don't know. For me, there's not a total um, injury list or injury bug that I can think of. I mean, there are a few injuries certainly on the dotting the New Orleans lineup right here, and you have I don't know. I don't see significant injuries here, maybe to warrant such a move. What do you guys have? Am I missing something on these totals here in this one? Let's take a look at your comments. Here's John on the here's Jay says it's moving up. It's on the Pelicans. John's on the Pelicans. Dre's on the over. Ray said I took it last night at $1.24. Ferner's on New Orleans here. And Jay's comment does not trust Golden State on the road in the back to back following the win. All right. I guess I know. I just got to go with the under. I mean, I like the under. I wanted to come in on the under. Maybe I was going premium under. I missed all these points with the under. These teams are kind of going under so far, as it was said right there by. Well, no one said it necessarily, but yeah, New Orleans 2-0. They've won at home. Let's see here. New Orleans 8-10 to the under as a favorite. They've also gone under in 21 of their last 27 games, dating back to last year. I will take the under. Pelicans, who for Darren? Who wrote the book of unders? All right. I did see just a few minutes ago after we talked about the Oklahoma City and Detroit game that some steam has been rolling in here on the over to take it back up to 225. And I do want to mention right now, let's get off the basketball here and take off the graphic because I've got some breaking news. All right, there is a big move right now on the total in the World Series. It looks like this one is moving higher right now on some sharp action. We're seeing some pressure to the total. In fact, I'm showing one offshore book has already moved to 9.5 under 20. So we're seeing some movement certainly right now on the World Series tonight. The total over two offshore books now popular offshore books have moved to a 9.5 under, and the move has slightly been on Texas. Now, the over is kind of officially widely reported as steam currently. One of the line services has is saying here this is pretty steamy here on this, but not on the side necessarily. Just the total. There definitely is movement to Texas right now. There's become a favorite at most of the sites. Just a slight. Remember how we are talking about it's a pick 'em. Maybe Texas is a favorite. Maybe one book is Arizona, but right now Texas may be starting to move as a slight favorite. Not market wide, but I mean enough movement to think that Texas is the team taking the move right now, and the over for sure. No doubt doubles. We got to get to that hockey. We got to get to everything. Let's keep it moving, but definitely have to get that information out there. 'Cause that's what we do here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Besides give free sports picks, I want to give you some great information. All right, the Miami Heat are going to take on the Milwaukee Bucks, and what a series here! This was a let's see, with the Bucks coming off their surprise loss, if you will, here, but they're still going to be favored minus 5.5, and the total is up to 224 in this one, with the Bucks favored here against the Heat. And let's dive into it a little bit, especially like I said with the Bucks coming off of a surprise loss to Atlanta. But hey, this is the NBA. The last 8 meetings between these two teams in Milwaukee has gone over the total. Interestingly enough, for Miami. They are coming off of a 106 to 90 loss at Minnesota. They also lost at Boston and now are playing their third straight road game. They're off a couple of nights off or a night off, a night off. But let's see what you guys already commenting on. Take the Heat here. Take the Bucks to bounce back. Take the Heat here. Milwaukee is coming off of that 127 to 110 loss, is what it was. That was a big shocker. Philadelphia did win their opener, but Philadelphia did win the opener. Yes, Milwaukee won the opener against Philadelphia by 1 point. Philadelphia covered the spread in that one, so Milwaukee a couple of spread losses so far. If anything, it does feel like maybe Milwaukee continues to be a little bit overvalued to a certain extent, doesn't it? But don't want to necessarily hear off of a big loss like that. Maybe get in their way necessarily at home. So this one, to me, looks a little bit tough here. I'm going to take a sneak peek at the line movement, not the general line movement. I think that one kind of is pretty obvious here, with the spread having opened up at 5.5 or so, or 6. So the move has definitely been to Miami, and uh, and to the over. So all right, and let's see. You guys look like you like the Heat here in this one, and man. All right. Well, I'm gonna end up on the over here in this one. What is Mike saying here with this? I don't know what that means, but I'll just show it. Give me the over with Miami and Milwaukee. I feel like I'm giving out some of my premiums, so hopefully these are good. I mean, I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying, like, um, I'm looking at the line. I know which direction I'm going, and then just like anything, when you look at the line, you can change your mind or have reaffirmations as well. Let's take a look at the Jazz and the Nuggets here. With the Nuggets a big favorite at home against the Jazz by 8 now, and the totals dropped here significantly to 227.5. That's at least a 3-point move here. We got the Nuggets as an 8-point favorite in this one. They opened as low as 6.5. Total opened as high as 231, and now we're dealing with this 227.5. And for me, let's see. Widely reported steam did come in on the under here. Obviously, I'm missing out on a ton of points here, but opened 231, and now we're down to 227.5. Uh, the widely reported steam on the under, and I wasn't buying it. I think I've got some value here all of a sudden. Um, see what you guys have to say in the comments here. Nothing just yet, it looks like. I'm on the over here. If anybody has any questions, uh, I don't like this move to the under, quite frankly, and I think I'm getting some value here with the over. I'm going to look to go over with Utah and Denver. I'll respect the move, but only giving me some more value. Now, here's the deal. Jazz and Denver, this is a total under series. 20 of the last 27 meetings have gone under, but you look at Utah, look what so far. Uh, they gave up 126 points at Phoenix. They had a game, their game went for 238 against the Clippers, 230 against Phoenix, 244 against Sacramento so far. They were going over in those games last. They didn't make the playoffs. They were going over at the end of the season last year. So I know the Nuggets have gone under in both games so far, but they're also, just uh, about 2-1. Their defense has been very strong. We know that. They gave up just 95 to OKC, 104 to Memphis, 107 against the Lakers. That's three unders in a row for them. But I think here I'm they're going to push this under. I'm going the other way. Let me see if it was wide. Let me see if it was steam to the under, or just a move to the under for Jazz and Nuggets. Well, it definitely was widely reported steam. Yeah, I did note that already, but I don't know. I'm going to take the over here in this one and think they got. Uh, I would tend to side with Utah on the road. I would tend to side more with the over in this game. I'm gonna fade the sharps here, I think. Here's Jay on Utah and Ray on the Nuggets. Here's John on the Jazz. It looks like Furter's on the over in this game. And is it Ray? Oh, Ray's on the. Okay, gotcha, Ray. Okay, thank you. Jay likes the series history here with Utah and the Denver here. Thank you. Thank you, Jay. Okay. Give me the over in this. I'll take over. I know the Sharps. I know my buddies are going under. My buddies, the Sharps. But I do fade them as often as I tail them. One more in the NBA tonight, and the Magic are going to be in LA to take on the Lakers. And the Lakers here are a 2-point favorite. The total is down to 218 on some widely reported team that came in on the under in this one with Magic and Lakers. All right. Let's see. This one opened as high as Lakers -4, but obviously ticked down here a little bit with the Lakers, maybe probably off the overtime, I would guess, last night, playing that overtime game uh, against the Kings. It was a tough game, certainly. With the Kings winning and all. I mean, the certainly the move is related to the fact that they had to exert more energy, play an extra quarter, and all that. I would think that's why we've seen the move. Lakers obviously, older team, right? So, but here they are favored by just 2 points at home against Orlando, and well, I like the direction. I like the Lakers' plan to a certain extent. What's going on right now, and we'll see back to back. Don't know how it's going to work with, you know, some of the patterns of uh, rest, substitution, all that. I don't think that's what we're necessarily seeing in the line here today. No indication that the stars will be out for the Lakers in this one. So, like I said, the move probably based on that, overtime game. Now, to me, Orlando is gonna. I'm kind of high on Orlando, especially defensively. I think they'll continue to improve. I think they have the personnel to be a better defensive team this season, and I'm pretty high on them. Actually, they're off to the 2-0 start, so I guess it's kind of easy to just say, "Hey, look, I'm like Orlando." But and the Lakers, don't forget, they're 1-2. Uh, you know, uh, cause for concern, if anything, right? I don't know about that, but Lakers off the overtime loss. Now they did beat Phoenix here at home as a 6.5-point favorite, without the Phoenix Stars in the lineup, certainly. But Lakers 0-3 against the spread thus far. So I don't know. This is a spot for me. I'm probably going to try the Lakers. Oh, sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry about that. It was a fun Sunday, wasn't it, you guys? Here comes the comments here. Thomas says the Lakers are going to get this one. I'm going with the Lakers in this one as well. John's on the Magic. Burner leaning to the Lakers. Jay's on Orlando today. Burner's on the over. I think Trey on the Lakers. All right. Thanks, you guys. That's a look. I think, maybe a few more here. Okay. I'll take the Lakers in this one. We've got hockey next. Steam play. I just want to point out some news here. I want to look into this totally, and uh, maybe we can get some clarification from you guys even on the air here. I don't know if I can get into it. I'm going to get into this hockey, but I've just seen a move come in right now on the Minnesota Vikings plus the points. So to me, I know what we got the report, and I'm going to say, it's certainly okay. You know what I'm going to say actually. Yeah, I'm not going to. Okay, there's some conflicting information here coming in on these moves with the Minnesota Atlanta football game. I would imagine the more likely scenario is on Desmond Ritter here, possibly his health. Not to me, I think the uh, Cousins situation is clear, right? I don't think there's any chance that you can have maybe a minor Achilles sprain or something that could be back in a week. I mean, he looked ultimately dejected. So I'm going to say there's some action happening here with Desmond Ritter. All right, I won't get into it. Let's get into the hockey. I can't be on the air and speculate like that. We got a lengthy card. Let's get into it in the NHL. We've got to get this show on the road. It's already been 2 hours with you here. Your time is valuable, folks. And but I do want to make sure we pick winners here on the show. All right, Carolina is going to be at Philadelphia tonight in this one, and Carolina. But Philadelphia's looked pretty good, right? I mean, I think we all can agree that Philadelphia has been a bit of a pleasant surprise this season, but Carolina's $1.85. And the total here is 6 tonight with Frederick Anderson, it looks like. On the road, maybe we can call it 6 over 15 here. Fire up the goalies, make sure we got that right as well. But I think I'm already know what where I'm headed with this one. Like I said, I think Philadelphia has been fine so far, and I'm one of the harshest critics of Philadelphia. I'm always looking to play against Philadelphia in spots, always thinking against Philly first. But Carter Hart confirmed in goal here today as of just 40 minutes ago. So good news here as Hart. Um, uh, the Flyers did struggle. He wasn't in there on Sunday, and the Flyers gave up 7 goals in that game to Anaheim. That turned out to be kind of a joke. The Flyers can do it here. I think Hart comes back 2.18 goals against and a 92% save percentage. Hart is 4-2 so far this season. So I would think as a dog. What's the critical notice? Let me look at the puck line here. I think we'll take the Flyers plus 1.5 at minus $1.50 or so today. Final. Against the Hurricanes. That's going to be my play. I will take the Flyers here in this one. And don't know yet about Anderson, but look, Carolina, they've done fine so far, 5-4, but Philly, they've been a pleasant surprise. And I don't know, Carolina 3-6 on the puck line. Philadelphia, they are, let's see, 6-2 on the puck line so far. And I would think, let me see, maybe they were favored in one game. I don't know why I worry about it. So biggest season, you're going to remember 1 or 2 games by the time you get all into it. Let me see. No, yeah, Flyers have been favored in 1 game, so they're 6-1 as a puck line dog, and Carolina 1-5 as a puck line favorite on the road. Give me the Flyers here at minus $1.50. That doesn't add up. They should be probably $2 favorites on the puck line. Give me the Flyers here in this one. And Jay says, yeah, exactly here. That's exactly what we're doing. Doubles is off today. Yeah, but still, we don't want to. Panthers, Bruins, NHL action here for Monday night. The Panthers on the road. They're an underdog. The Bruins are minus $1.60. And the total here is, wow. The total here is 6/20. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so 6/20 is the total here in this one with the Panthers and the Bruins. All right. This one opened here. Let me take a look at the opening. Was $1.70 as we listed there on the screen. And you're seeing some pressure here, definitely to the over in this one, but I'm probably just going to end up taking the Florida Panthers here. Oh man, that puck line is $1.70. Oh, that's not great. I wanted to try to find a way to get on the Panthers here at $1.40 ish or so. I think that's felt like the right play to me to a certain extent was Florida here. Let's see if you guys have any comments, and I'll break down the game just a little bit. I mean, it is after all Boston still undefeated, and I'm trying to find a spot to get on the other team, but maybe the Sharps are doing it today as well. This has always been Boston crushing Florida. They've won 20 of the last 28 meetings. Boston and under here, though, for Dre. Yeah, I'm not. Now, these two teams have gone 5 and 10 to the under. 10 unders, 5 overs so far this season between these two teams. But I didn't feel like maybe it was necessarily going uh, to be that way today. I would think this one's got a chance to have some goals. And the fact that it's moved down to 6, I'm going to give out. Let me make sure. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with Florida and just take the puck line is just such a high price, and I do think they can, win the game in an upset here. Like I said, Boston's good. I get all that. Give me, give me Florida. Okay, I'm gonna take them on the puck line, $1.70, whatever. But I'll sprinkle the money line here. Thank you, Peasy. There it is, 20 and 28. Don't forget the Bruin revenge, he says. Let's see. Well, of course, the long, uh, right, the long-term Bruin revenge, I guess, right, is what you're saying from the playoff series that, that Florida won, right, the overtime game, 4-3. Oh, boy. Let me, oh, timeout here, you guys. Thank you. A lot going on here at the old studio. And right, Ferner, maybe I'm on the dogs too. And I try to be that. I do try to be that guy, actually, right? Don't be the guy trying to take all the dogs. Well, you know what? I take more favorites than people give me credit than people say. So, like, I try to make it a point to, take these underdogs because that's the way we do it. That's the way we're gonna get there. And let's keep moving on, man. A lot of hockey. The Ducks and the Penguins. The Penguins at 235. Oh, well, at least it's gone down. 235, maybe even 240. 6.5 over minus 115. So definitely seeing a move here to the, we're seeing a move to the Ducks, I guess. And the Ducks have, what can you say? They've done, you know what? It's been, as a Ducks fan, I like the Ducks to a certain extent. And they've done a pretty nice job, quite frankly, so far this season. So why wouldn't they keep it going here right now? It feels like to me, I would probably want to take another dog here and take the Ducks somehow. They seem to be hanging in there with everybody at this point. I mean, after all, so far the Ducks do have 4 victories. Pittsburgh got 3. This is the Mighty Ducks, the Mighty Ducks. For those of you who might be just getting into this thing, they used to be the Mighty Ducks, famous movie, famous. Talk about the greatest sports movies of all time. That's not one of them, but it was fun and it was about hockey. So, anyways, the Ducks have been pretty terrific. What's the price here? I want the Ducks plus 1.5 minus $1.30 or so. I don't care. I'm taking them. I'm taking them. I'll sprinkle the money line. I'm taking the Ducks today. Monday, hockey. Come on. Okay, Pittsburgh's won 11 of the last 14 meetings in Pittsburgh. Let's, be realistic to a certain extent. But, for those 4 victories, 3 of them have come on the road so far. They've they've won. Well, they've won 3 straight on the road. They've won 3 straight on this road trip. The bubble has got to burst, right? They can't win another game, can they? These Ducks, I don't know. They're passing the puck well. They beat Philly. They beat Boston. They beat Columbus. They beat Boston, everybody. I mean, it was in overtime, but they got that one there. That's the only blemish on their record. So sometimes you look what the Kraken did last year. Some teams are just, I don't know, the road. What do they call it? Road cooking. You know, who doesn't like to go on the road and get room service, right? Home cooking, okay, comfort food. Trey's on the Ducks, smooth. Jay's on the Ducks. Ray says, the Bruins will play on that other one. Okay, give me the Ducks again until further notice. We're on the Ducks. I know it's hard to be a Kings fan and a Ducks fan, but hey, like I said, I like multiple teams, man. Kraken and Lightning here. Kraken on the road as well, taking on Tampa Bay. Here in this one with Tampa Bay favored $1.60, 6.5 under 15 right now. And boy, who said take those underdogs? Oh, that's probably the. Could I get on another underdog here with Seattle? Probably. Feel like we're just. I don't want to be like mocking Ferner talking about getting on these underdogs, but probably trying to look for another spot to get on Seattle here. Man, the price. What is it? Dollar. Well, it is going down pretty steep here, actually. It's probably getting into the range where they could probably play the Lightning. Maybe now it feels like. But for me, I don't know if the total the 6.5 now, that might be getting a little bit high too. And let's take the under here in this one. I can't. I was gonna try Seattle, and even for me, the price may have gone out the window a little bit. That I don't know if I can try a favorite, but I don't think I'll do it on the air. I would probably just do it privately in pocket. Dre's on Seattle, though. And I will take the under in this one at 6.5 goals with the Kraken and the Lightning. Lightning coming in 4-2. Kraken already have 5 losses so far this season. And uh, last year, remember how good they were on the road. I will say this also: these two teams have played 10 unders so far this season and just 5 overs combined. And Seattle has gone under in 8 of their last 10, dating back to last year. And of course, everyone knows the key statistic on this game: 12-6-15 Rehai. Thank you, Mike. Here's the Rangers and the Jets. Igor here in goal in this one. Uh, it's Monday, and I'm not doing a good job of keeping us informed on the goalies. And we have seen some information come out on these guys. So let's make sure we're keeping everybody abreast of the goalie changes here today in situation. Let me see. I almost want to go back and see the ones where we had changes, like the Lightning. Johansson, he's likely today. Frederick Anderson now likely. Tristan Yari likely for the Penguins, and here Connor Hellebuck is going to be likely to play in goal. Nothing yet for Igor here in this one for the Rangers. But certainly the Rangers still a favorite today in this one at $1.20 now, 5.5 over 20. So we got a 5.5 sighting today, no doubt about it. This thing it did open though as high as 6 here, and I'm feels like with Shesterkin and Hellebuck. I'm just gonna have to give it out here on the show. I don't want to necessarily early on the season. Maybe I need more data points to get on and under 5.5 to a certain extent here, but I do want the under. And if it's going to be 5.5, I'll just have to take it as such. We could buy it up privately, but for show purposes, we want to be upfront, and I would think it feels to me, no locks, no dead solid under type of proclamations I can do, right? Dead solid under feels like here to me. You look at, you know, to me, Winnipeg, if they're going to be uh, what uh, plus $1.05 or so against Igor and the way the Red Wings on the road right now. Let's take a look at some of these Red Wings scores on the road. Okay, they've had some unders definitely. Now the big game against Vancouver, it did go over 2 nights ago, 4-3, but at Edmonton was 3-0. At Calgary was 3-1. At Seattle was 4-1. This is their 5th straight road game for the Rangers. I think this equals, under for me in that situation. So we'll see, because so far Winnipeg. I think they've been playing a little bit to the over. They're 4-3 to the over. Rangers are 2-6 to the under so far this season. So I'm going under though for sure. 5.5. Give me the under. 6 was a premium. I'm just going to have to go under here on the show. Right now. All right. We're almost done, everybody. Here, Red Wings taking on the Isles in this one, and you have the Islanders a favorite here, $1.55 or so. and the total 6 under 20. In this one with the Islanders going up here against the Red Wings. All right, there was some widely reported steam that came in on the Islanders, and that's kind of driven this price up. The steam came in at about $1.48 or so, but now you see the number that we're dealing with here, and I don't know. For me, I'm probably gonna. It's not real comfortable, and it's not gonna make Ray very very happy. But I'm gonna take the Islanders here and give me a road favorite tonight. They took the steam. I think it's probably pretty legit here. Look, everything that the Red Wings have done, this has been absolutely great. I've been trying to convince myself that this is real. And I want to convince myself that the Islanders are real. I like these, hey, if I like 10 teams, these guys are in the 10 teams that I like. Um, Maybe for personal reasons, but Islanders 4-2-1 so far. Detroit 5-3-1. Both teams, I'd say, doing pretty well, but Detroit's start is much feels like more surprising to a certain extent. The Islanders weren't very good either, and they're actually off to pretty good start as well right now. Let's see what you guys say here. It's only $1.59, says Mike. Like, are you saying, Mike, it's only $1.59 or it's only $1.59? Because I don't know, right? You don't necessarily want to be on an Islanders laying too much of a price, but now I'm probably willing to do it today. Looking, because here's the thing. Okay, for Detroit, what is it? They lost at Boston 4-1. They lost at home to Winnipeg 4-1. They've lost to Seattle 5-4 to kind of you know erase some of that 5-game winning streak here as they've come back down to earth over the last couple of games. Meanwhile, Islanders kind of trending opposite. They won at Columbus 2-0. They beat Ottawa 3-2 after having a 3-game losing streak. Of course, they opened the season with 2 straight wins, so a little bit up and down for the Islanders. I'll take the Islanders tonight. Give them to me here at minus $1.59 or whatever. Whatever Mike said there, $1.59. I'll take them. Give me the Islanders tonight. Columbus is going to be at Dallas. Dallas is a huge 280 favorite now in this one. A huge favorite for the Stars here against the Blue Jackets. And I don't know, Blue Jackets have been playing some surprisingly good hockey so far. And why wouldn't Columbus be able to compete here in this one at this price today if they're doing so well? I don't mind that. I might be looking here at old Columbus at this price. What are you guys going to do? For me, I think this start for Columbus, 3 wins so far this season, a couple of extra time, overtime wins, I believe, as well. Let's see. They got points against they beat Minnesota 5-4 on the road in overtime. They lost at home to Anaheim 3-2 in overtime. They lost at Montreal 4-3 in overtime. They played 3 consecutive overtime games before that loss to the Islanders. And as far as Dallas is concerned, they are lost to Toronto 4-1 in that last game that ended their 3-game winning streak. So we know Dallas is a much better team. Columbus, though, is done a nice job to get off to the type of start that they have. So I'm going to ride with Columbus here on the puck line. We've been getting a little bit. No, it's minus $1.10 or so, but I'm going to try Columbus today on the road on the puck line. In this one, Dre's on the Stars. Ferner says, "What about the under here?" No, Ferner, I'm not going to give it away, but boy, it's going to be hard to, I I'm probably going over. Probably going over big here in this one. Maybe some information could come in, maybe there, but just not sure that I can agree with that. Okay, interesting. This is going to be a great card tonight, you guys. Let's talk about just a couple more games here and get out of here. Blackhawks, Coyotes. Look, what's going on here with this one? The Coyotes are favored here $1.85, and the total is 6/15. Well, at least it went down 10 cents. You mean to tell me that these two teams that were so bad and the Blackhawks now have one of the true up and coming young superstars of the game. And the Coyotes were absolutely terrible last year. And so were the now they're $1.85 over the what's going on here? Is this a tarp or something tonight? Because that does not make much sense at all. Now look, Mamelka. Um, well, let's see who's in there, right? Let me take a look. I mean, not that. I mean, look, Vizmelka's been doing great. I mean, he is one of a few more goalies on those other games. I know I'm not supposed to mention them in these other threads, but Sorokin confirmed for the Islanders. That was one goalie expected to be in there. Let's see here, though. Okay, Connor Ingram is in goal in this one, so maybe that's where the 10-cent move comes from. I think there's a big difference between Velmica and Ingram. I think Vesmilka is a better goalie than I think. I mean, to me, Vesmilka is kind of the guy. He's kind of been moving up the ranks of the goal. I like him, right? Ingram, 1-1, 3.18 ERA, 89 cents save percentage, 89 cents, 89 cents, a 98-cent beauty pageant, 89% save percentage for Ingram from Mrazek if he's in there, 2-3 with a 3.0 goals against, and a 92% save percentage. So I'm on the Blackhawks. Come on. I've got to take the Blackhawks here, don't I, at this point with this situation? Come on. How do you not? Given shouldn't it be a pick 'em or something? What's going on? Is it a tarp? Is it a tarp? Widely reported steam came in on the under here, and not sure. No, I'm not going to say that what let's see here. Who did say it? Ferner. Yeah, I'm going to take back what I said a little bit about the comments there, about straight over. I'm not sure actually. Okay, did we get everybody's pick in there? One more on the ice, and it's two more of my teams, of my 9 teams that I like here with the Canadians and the Golden Knights. And I think I've seen this goalie situation here with no, neither of these guys are confirmed just yet. Okay, no problem. With Jake Allen here up against Aiden Hill. And we can take a look, maybe break this down a little bit. probably, probably end up on more underdog action here if they're going to have 245. Let's see what the price is currently. I imagine it hasn't moved too much. Well, okay, the moves on my Montreal Canadiens again down to, oh, Golden Knights down to 225 or so. Oh boy. Now, I'm not thinking anything about the Canadians being for real. I'm too real myself to think that this 5-2-1 start is anything but short term variance. But it is fun to be 5-2-1 if you're kind of a Montreal fan like I am. Now you are going up against a mighty Golden Knights, and it feels like the bubble's going to burst soon enough, but it hasn't. It did to a certain extent against the Blackhawks in that game that they lost in overtime. And yes, it did take a shootout to beat Cam Talbot and the Kings last time out. So, if anything, that Vegas, you know, armor has been getting dinged a little bit here of late by the opposition. I'll take Montreal tonight in this one with Allen or Sam. It doesn't matter to me, I don't think. But Montreal, they're got a win over Winnipeg at home in a shootout. They got a win against Columbus in overtime. And they also have beaten Buffalo on the road. And they have a win at home against Washington in overtime. So it's been fun times for the Canadians. Feels good to be playing well if you're Montreal right now. Vegas certainly can, they've been playing great. But this has been nice. Maybe Montreal's not getting the best price. That's going to do it for me. I appreciate you guys so much for coming in for 2 hours with me today. 2 hours and 22 minutes, and we didn't do any college football. We're going to tackle some college football tomorrow. We'll get at least a dozen games. I don't know. We got to start it. But just so many games today. We got to preview this big hockey card as well. 9 games here. Football, baseball, bunch of basketball games. Wait till we get to college. We'll just have to start picking and choosing our spots. Thank you for joining me here on the Morning Steam for Monday, October 30th. I'll be back tomorrow on Tuesday. More World Series, plus all that college football I promised you. Tuesday night action as well gets started, and a light card on the ice in hockey and also in basketball. So we'll be able to talk some college football, and we'll get the first. We won't have it on the show, right? Or let's see. What did they say? Um, oh boy, I should know this. So, I was wondering about the college football play. Are they doing that on Monday this year? Well, anyways, we know we'll get up here. Thank you to Dre. Thank you to Mike here today. Ray as well. Appreciate you guys so much. Doubles and all the crew. Look, yeah, did we lose some viewership recently? Maybe, but I think we're slowly gaining it back because the winners are here on the show on the morning steam. You got me, handicapping. You're not going to get the same picks from me every day. I'm not just going with the numbers. You can't end up on the same picks. You got to pick the spots. You got to pick the variants here a little bit. Good luck to you guys. Thank you, Ferner. Appreciate it. Be here tomorrow with more morning steam for Tony'sPicks.com. This has been Ramon Scott.